Okay, guys, here it is. The Street Fighter 2 on my raised pedestal, I like to call it. Here is the game. So, real quick, the Marquee is great. I love the Marquee. I mean, not the Marquee, excuse me. I love the box that is sitting on here. But there's a couple of things I can tell you I can address real quick. First of all, where are my balls? I thought that there were supposed to be 2 balls and 2 bats. I got 4 bats. That's a quality control issue right there, unless they meant to do it that way, which would be very weird because they never did that before. Okay. Next is this. While the other legacy cap, the Mortal Kombat, had that cool plastic thing on it, and you know what I'm talking about, the plastic coin door, like on the pinball, that actually comes out. Look what they did to this legacy one. No, it's not a plastic coin door. It's a fake thing that's flat. There's nothing. There's no plastic thing coming out of this. Maybe the other legacy is the same, but it looked more like it was out. But I don't know. But this is just smooth as a butter. Basically, it's just a decal or whatever. So it looks fine, but it's not. It doesn't look as good as when they build it out. No question about that. So next, the screen. The screen is brighter, which is really nice. The screen is very bright. Not very bright, but it's bright. It's obviously they took the time to make sure the screen was the way it was supposed to adjust their settings. The Marquee is the same as all the other Marquees, but it is nice and wide, which I do like, okay? At least they give you bat buttons this time, so that's good. Some people have talked about the ledge here, this raised edging. I kind of tested it, and I can tell you that it actually doesn't bother me, and I'll tell you why, because I like to lean like this with my hands. I like to just lean here, and I feel that I can hit the buttons easier with this given support. Now, maybe for a younger guy, they like it to be flat like the Marvel superheroes, where it's just flat here. But for me, it's kind of cool because I can put my wrist down and I can then play I can just kind of play just like this. And this is almost like a rest instead of having to be back here all the time, which actually kind of hurts. But this actually feels good now. So I guess it depends on what your style of playing is. And they also said, if you're next to someone, so I don't know. But that is how I feel about it. It looks good, and it has 12 games. Let's go through the games real quick. So first you got Street Fighter 2, and then you got Street Fighter 2, The New Challengers, and you have, let's see here. What in the world? Even I can't see that. What is that supposed to be? Well, I guess, Dark Stalkers. Well, geez, guys. Could you have made it so you can actually read it? I mean, you can't even read that. Okay, hey, where'd it go? And then you have Strider. Now, let me tell you, what they did is, here, let me switch the cameras real quick. What they did is, I'll have this in the background. So what they did is they actually combined Final Fight together with Street Fighter. So basically, if you had Final Fight or you have Street Fighter, it puts the 2 games together and it throws in a bonus or 2 also. Now, the Mortal Kombat one was better, in my opinion, because it combines the Rampage cab with the Mortal Kombat cab, and then they threw in a lot of freaking bonuses. So what I'm hoping for, if you're listening Arcade1Up, what I'm hoping for is that you have a bonus game in this cab that you haven't announced yet, so that we can maybe have a bone thrown our way too, because this is essentially, let me switch the cameras again. This is essentially the same cab as the seated cab of whatever the name of that is. You know what cab I'm talking about. It's essentially the same as that type of cab, and it's the 12 games that has. It's not the same as the Street Fighter cab, of course, But it combines two cabs together, but it doesn't throw in any bonus games like the Mortal Kombat. You got Tubin. You have like a number of new games on there. I'm hoping that they give you an extra bonus game that they haven't released on a cab yet. However, with that being said, you got Strider that comes from Final Fight. Dark Stalkers is a new game that wasn't on both cabs, but it was on the seated, and I don't know why I can't think of the name of that type of a cab, but you guys know what I'm talking about. This is the Championship Street Fighter 2 edition here, and then this one is the Street Fighter 2 Turbo. And then you got 1944, that's from Final Fight, 1944, the Loop Master. Ghosts and Goblins, one of my favorite games. Man, I wish they had Ghouls and Ghosts. Now, that'd be a really nice bonus to throw on this bad baby. Ghosts and Goblins they have on here, which I love. Street Fighter 2 Turbo. One of these is the new game that wasn't on the original Street Fighter. I think it's Street Fighter 2 Turbo. Then you got Street Fighter, the original. And then, of course, Final Fight, based on the Final Fight cab right there, which is an awesome game, too. Now, this one wasn't on either cab, and that one's called Commando, which was popular in the arcade, I guess in the 80s. So that's a pretty cool game, too. So let me just real quick demonstrate. It looks like the sound's pretty good. I think the sound's in stereo now. So let's start with the first one. Press to continue. This is going to take so long to upload because, man, it takes forever for me to upload for some reason. Anyway, come on, let's go. No, I'm just doing this with one hand, guys, so don't worry about what I'm doing. So this is Final Fight. I mean, you've pretty much seen this already, so. And I'm doing this with one hand, so excuse me. Let's go. I'm going to just do a real quick demonstration. I'm not really going to do much here. Okay, so yeah, I can actually... This screen looks way better than Final Fight. Okay, good. Let's go out now. Go to another screen. Okay, quick. Oh, that's new. You can pause the game, and then you can either reset the game or you can quit the game. Now, that I didn't know. And basically, I held player 1 and the A button together. So I only discovered that. I'm sure somebody else probably said that, but I didn't. I didn't catch that video. Street Fighter. Let's go to stuff that you haven't seen. It wasn't on the two cabs. Okay, so Dark Stalkers definitely wasn't on either cab. And you see that it has to load in. Come on, guys. I just default to whatever. Okay, here's Dark Stalkers. Well, that looks good. Getting my butt kicked doesn't look good, though. Sheesh, I didn't even throw a punch in. Hey, I know I'm using one hand, but I shouldn't be this bad. Come here. And you got all 6 buttons, it looks like. So that's Dark Stalkers. And by the way, Dark Stalkers was one of the last games made on this cap. So that's actually a pretty good game. All right, let's go out. Perfect. Next is, okay, we know all of those. I think Street Fighter 2 Turbo is the one that wasn't on the original cap. I should be able to tell because I think the graphics look closer. It's almost like a transition between Street Fighter 2 and Street Fighter 3. To me, it's almost like Street Fighter 2.5, where you can tell the graphics is a step up. Maybe not as much as Street Fighter 3, but it's almost like Street Fighter 2.5 as far as I'm concerned. If this is the one. Round 1, fight. This is going to be really bad with me playing with one hand, especially with you guys who all Street Fighters fans. This is why I got this cap, because I didn't want to spend the money to get good at it. Now I can actually finally learn how to play this game the right way. I always wanted to play it, but I never wanted to spend all the quarters to do it. Hey, what can I say? Back then, I didn't have the quarters to spend that way. Anyway, yeah, this is definitely a step up because you can see the graphics, see this background graphics with the chicken, the motorcycle. These are all like extra things, and it has a slight more Studio 3D to it. It's not 3D, but it definitely has a Studio 3D to it. So that's a pretty cool game. All right, let's go out to the last one, Commando.
Perfect.
Okay, Commando's the last one. This was an older game, but it was popular in the arcade. Commando's like a Neo Geo game almost. So basically, you're firing, you're moving. To think of it as like a shooter on the ground. But I can't do it with one hand, but you guys get the idea. Oh, you can obviously throw grenades too. So there you go, guys. I just wanted to give you a quick peek at the games and let me give my final thoughts on it. Okay, final thoughts on the cab. I always knew what this cab was and what it had and what it didn't have. I'm hoping that they give a bonus game because that Mortal Kombat cab, they got a lot of bonus games on that game on there that wasn't available before. But if you're a Final Fight, if you are a Final Fight or a Street Fighter fan and you wanted to combine two cabs together, this is definitely the way to go. There's no egregious faults with it, so that's good. And the screen is certainly a step up. It's much more brighter than the Final Fight and the Street Fighter 2 cabs, which were first and second generation, I think. Let's see, what else? At least they give you full trim. Here's the trim. They give you the full trim. Because in some cabs, they cheap out and they don't actually put trim to cut costs. I don't like this, that they didn't build it out. I mean, I could have put a sticker on there. That does nothing. But as a whole, it's a pretty good cab. I mean, you know what you're getting, and that's what you get. So the bezel's kind of nice too. Good bezel. No issues at all. As long as you know what you're getting, you're basically getting two cabs in one with a couple of extra bonus games, but they were available before. And maybe Arcade1Up is going to throw a bone for the Street Fighter 2 people who buy this cab. It's a good deal though at $3.99. A really good value, and I don't think it's a bad cab by any means. The bats feel really good. This feels really good. The buttons are not bad either. So really, I have no complaints about it. This doesn't bother me, the raised edge for me. And I actually really like this down here. I think that they did a good job with that. I need to fix this light here, but that's coming in for me to be able to add some trim to put the lights in. So guys, there you go. Arcade Wheel out, and for Arcade1Up, since I definitely criticized you for some things, you pretty much did a good job on this, just like you did with your pinballs, and there's no major flaws or anything. Oh, and some people mentioned on the other cat that they had problems with this Marquee, and how it came into the soundbar or the monitor, whatever. There was no problems on this cab, at least not for me. So I didn't have that issue. All right. Thanks a lot, guys. Take care.